Dear students, myself Kiran MP. I am working as assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering in Government Engineering College, Kushalnagar. In today's session, let me discuss some more HTML5 advanced controls. Hope all of you remember the advanced controls what we have discussed in previous session, that is 8. In my previous session we had a discussion about HTML5 advanced controls like buttons, right? We have seen several types of buttons like submit button. When a submit button, what it does, it submits a form to the server. And we have seen a reset button. What reset does, it clears the already entered data in a form. Also we have seen a customizable button. We can embed an image in a button. We have seen embedding both image as well as text in a button. So now in today's session we will discuss some more HTML5 advanced controls like date, time. And before beginning this session also I want to recapture the two other controls we have discussed in previous session. They are number and the range. You know what actually number, right? I mean I am restricting an input field to accept only numbers, is it? So means for example, suppose if there's an input field which accepts okay, age of any person, then that input field should accept only number. Got it? So validation need to be included. Also we have seen we have discussed about the range. Got it? For example, if I say month, an input field that accepts month in number format, in numeric format, the range should be between 1 and 12. So how to fix a range for an input field? These are things we have discussed. Now let me come to agenda of this session. So first we will have a discussion about date controls. Okay, I mean here we'll discuss, okay, suppose any input field, okay, that need to accept date what is specified. For example, say date of birth. Got it? Clear, date of admission. Clear? uh, some other will discuss how to include a date field in any of the form. Got it? Clear? Then we will have a discussion about time control. So what actual time control? Suppose I want to have an input field, okay, to accept time, maybe in 24-hour format or 12-hour format. So how to include an input field at accept time, we'll have discussion. And the left out HTML and a few more HTML controls we'll have discussion. Now coming to date controls. Have a look at the slide. Dates and times often need validation when gathering this information from a regular text input control. what actually a validation means. Let me say date. Okay, it has a day, it has month, it has year. Validation year means, say for example, month field. Its range is between 1 and 12. That need to be validated. If I say an year, the validation is there. That's a 4-digit number. Got it? Now coming to user's perspective, entering dates can be tricky as well. Means if I am a user and some input field prompting me to enter date, okay, so I will be a bit confused in what format I should enter date, whether DD, MM, YYYY or YYYY, MM, DD, where DD stands for date, MM stands for month, YYYY stands for year. So you probably have wondered at some point in time when entering a date into a web form. I mean, you are confused whether day comes before the month or whether the month should be entered as an abbreviation or a number and so on. Now, coming to HTML5 date control, okay. So it's an input field, right? As I said, so I need to make use of input tag. So look at a slide, both at the output that is being displayed on the web page as well as the code snippet. Okay, and the code, okay, fragment, I have used a label field that is nothing but date text enclosed in label field. Okay, that's just a label text that will be displayed, and we know that BR is line break. So immediately after date, the line following immediately after date, there's one input field. Okay, and I specified type of input field as date. So this is what you are going to see. The first row shows the month March, following a year, and we will see a calendar. Okay. Now let me see time. Okay, suppose if I want one more field which accepts time. Okay, so I can create one more input field. For that I need to make use of input tag, and I need to use type as time. And you can see this being displayed on this slide. Suppose next I want both date and time fields together. Okay, I again need to make use of input tag. Again I need to make use of input tag. Okay, but here the type is date time. So you can see again this in the slide. Now suppose, okay, I want an input field, okay, that accepts not date or not time, that accepts a month of a particular year. Okay, got it? I want an input field that takes an input as a month of any year. Then I need to make use of input tag, and the type I need to make use is a month. Got it? And you can see it's being displayed on the slide. Suppose now I need to know, okay, uh, which month and what days, okay, a particular week, maybe a 10th or maybe 11th week in a year belongs. I mean to say, what is that month and what is that range of days to which 11th week of an year belongs or 10th week of an year belongs. Got it? I need to make use of input tag with type as week. As seen in example, I have specified here 2013. Okay, and I want to know the month and the range of days week 10 belongs to in that entire year 2013. And as you can see in this slide, week 10 in 2013 belongs to March. Okay, and the range of days are 4 to 10. So I think now we are clear with the controls what we have discussed, right? So we had a discussion about date, we had a discussion about time. We suppose if we want an input field that accepts date, we need to make use of a type date. If I want an input field to accept time, okay, we need to make use of type time. Suppose we want an input field to accept both date and time, we need to make use of type date time. Yeah. Suppose we want to have an input field that accepts month of a particular year, then we need to make use of type month. Okay. Suppose we want to select a particular week in an year, okay, we need to make use of type week. And this is just and as you just go through this slide, and what you are seeing on the slide are those contents, those type of input fields that we have just discussed in this session. So as you can see in the slide, okay, date, the format for the date is YYYYMMDD. The format for the time is hours, minutes, seconds, delimited by colon. The format for month is YYYY-MM. The format for week YYYYW number. So with this, let me wind up the current session. Thank you.